USMCA. Let's see. The Dairy Farmers of Canada, an industry group, claimed that 220,000 Canadians in the sector were sacrificed to secure a deal. Okay, so what exactly was part of the deal? Let's see. Uh, an increase in the U.S. producers' export to 3.59% of the domestic Canadian production. That increase would be, at least from the TPP that they almost signed, from 3.25% of the domestic Canadian production. Almost entirely, the difference will be that super filtered Class 7 milk, that newfangled thing that, Canada stopped importing last year and tripled their exports. Yeah. So, sacrificed? Fuck no. Bullshit. Seriously. Fuck off. This is just Diet Coke. I'm doing Sober October. Now, I've been reading a couple of these articles, and a lot of the dairy farmers. Sorry, guys, it just sounds a little like boo-hoo, poor me shit. Like the livelihood of these thousands of Canadians and the future generations of dairy producers is seriously at risk. That's always true of every job and every industry. That's what the free market is. All right, it's the freedom to take the risk in whatever it is you mean to do. All right, and on your own merits, either succeed or fail. And these assholes are being promised that they'll receive compensation for the concessions made in the USMCA, right? From the Canadian government, which is me. That's going to come out of my pocket now. What? Some crazy woman wrote in the Toronto Star this whole thing about how the American dairy farmers also need supply management. What the fuck are you talking about? She says she's got a quote from a Pennsylvania farmer. Oh, we've known for 35 years or more that we need a supply management program. No, see, that sounds to me like that farmer has known for 35 years that he's needed supply management to survive. This is so ridiculous. A company called, or a gathering of dairy farmers called by Agrimark Incorporated, a cooperative representing 1,000 or so dairy farms in New England and New York State. All right, the testimonials from dairy farmers express a high degree of distress. Well, have you ever considered the possibility that maybe it's because you're a fucking co-op? Right? Literally, cooperative, 1,000 dairy farms in a co-op. Why not be competitive with each other? Maybe one of you, or 100 or 150 of these 1,000 farms, might start to be a little more successful than the others. And being more successful might have the power to buy up the competition. Right? Why not? Milk surpluses are out of control. There's too much milk production. Past efforts to put controls in place have failed and failed again. Okay, a comment from one young farmer: we need to get something done because there are a lot of farmers who won't last another year or two in this market. Well, then that'll be one less farmer, and the milk supply should go down, shouldn't it? Oh my God. Oh, more than a dozen proposals were submitted to the Agrimark gathering. The phrase supply management came up a lot. Mark McAfee, executive director of the California Dairy Campaign, submitted a proposal for a Sustainable Milk Inventory System Act. It's a 12-point plan built on establishing a national program of dairy inventory management. Sounds familiar. McAfee summarized the act as a U.S. version of the Canadian system with improvements. Long-term stability requires a structural overhaul. All right. Lost in the call on this side of the border for an end to supply management are the voices in the U.S. dairy industry who see a similar program as the most effective way to protect the future of an industry. But that's not quite right, is it? They see it as the most effective way to protect their own ass. The long-term stability requires that this play itself out. Not everyone will succeed. Not every business will survive in a free market. And once the ones that are succeeding fall out of the market, the ones that did, that's your stability. They'll just be better at it. And they'll control the market. And getting into it will be hard, of course, because you have to be very, very good at it now. Right? You'll just have refined the merit to the, like, honed it to the sharpest edge, and have the best milk at the cheapest prices. The most efficient farmers win. That's how this is supposed to fucking work. They don't need supply management. They need a free market. God, every time, so much of this article is how they've thrown money at it over and over again for all kinds of different things, and nothing helps. You know why? Because what they're not doing is just letting the businesses fall. Just letting them go out of fucking business. And some of them still are. A Greek yogurt maker wooed with $14 million in tax credits lasted little more than 2 years. Well, he would have gone out of business way sooner without the tax credits. Would have saved the government, which is the taxpayer, $14 million fucking dollars. And then someone else would have done a better job. Right? Where is this crazy woman's thing here? I want to read this. Oh, yeah, okay. The market interference is clearly in conflict with the interests of Canadian consumers, the argument goes. No, it really is, though. The U.S.-Canada retail price differential on milk is the standard citation used to urge Canadians to get on board with this thinking. A quick portrait of millionaire Canadian dairy farmers as a group is often sketched. She doesn't go ahead and dismantle that, though, and let me tell you, the average worth of a Canadian dairy farm owner is $5 million, the average worth of a dairy farm owner. And the strength of the dairy lobby usually draws a mention. She doesn't dismantle that either, though, that the dairy lobby is, it's basically the Canadian equivalent of the NRA in terms of its influence. Yeah. So, fuck. Why? All because of supply management. But it's alright, because Trudeau still looks like a stooge on the world stage. Now he looks like a stooge to the dairy farmers of Canada. And I really wish I could. It's day fucking 1 and I'm already dying for a fucking drink. Holy shit. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, this is going to be a long one. Relevant links to shit I said in the description. Maybe. I'm a retweet. Like, subscribe. Or don't. It's a free country. At least it used to be.